Welcome to Author Timeline Thursday with a really wonderful quote. Let me bring me up and the quote just for fun. There are so many things that we wish we had done yesterday, and so few that we feel like doing today. Oh boy, that one will kick you right in the pants, won't it? Hi there, my name is Christopher Diarmani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion to empower aspiring Christian nonfiction writers to share their trauma to triumph journey using a complete, detailed roadmap for writing success so they can write, finish, and publish their book this year. It's a great thing. It's how we change people's lives. So you may brim with godly intentions and your cup may overflow with transformational ideas. But ideas don't make a book. They're a part of it, but they are not all of it. Consistent, disciplined, daily action. That's what writes a book. All those pleasant thoughts about, well, what I'll do tomorrow? Yeah, that's not going to get you there. So that's why I love a deadline. I love, ideally, a really close deadline, close in time, because nothing gets me going faster than knowing that this deadline is around the corner and I don't feel like I'm going to make it. I like putting that pressure on myself to see if I can actually do more than I thought I could when I set out to do this project. Ephesians 5:15 tells us, See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. We're called to make the most out of our time. That's what I take away from that, from Ephesians 5:15. We're called to make the very most of our time and to use our time wisely, make the most of this very present moment, this moment right now, because it's the only one that we actually have. It's the only one we actually have. If you're struggling to make the time to write, or you don't know what you should write next, or you have all these thoughts running through your head about, I can't, I'm not able, I'm not this, I'm not that, set all of those thoughts aside and sit down at your computer and write for 15 minutes. Give yourself that assignment. See what happens. And then schedule another 15 minutes tomorrow. And if you're feeling really awesome about yourself and how this is going for 2 days, double it. Schedule your writing time to write for a half an hour every single day, and then show up and do it. What you'll discover is that these are the stepping stones that make your book inevitable. It may feel like Mount Everest today, that you've got so high to climb and so far to go that you can't see how it's even possible to get there from here. And yet, so long as you sit down every single day, do one of those little tiny pieces that you broke down into your outline. That's all an outline is breaking this great big massive thing down to these little tiny pieces that are really easy to do. It's the whole point of a daily writing routine. Just do one little tiny piece. I don't have to write my entire book today. I don't even have to write an entire chapter today. All I have to do is to sit down at the appointed hour that I've set for myself and write. And get as far as I possibly can today. Yeah, I might have set a time limit on it. I typically try and write for a minimum of an hour, but I don't stop myself if I feel like I want to keep going. Why not? If I'm in the zone, stay there. It's a great place to be. It really is. But for you, for whatever those times are, show up at those appointed times. Sit down and do the thing that you said you would do. Write. And do that whether you feel like it or not. I know I bang that drum a lot, but there's a purpose behind that. Because no matter what happens, no matter what mood I happen to be in when I sit down to write, it changes 25 seconds later or less. Often far, far less. And that's, where is it? There it is. That's why I love this little sucker. It's just a simple dollar store timer. And on those really, really terrible days, I say to myself, Christopher, you only have to write until the sand runs out of the top of this timer. Then you can stop. You can do whatever you want after that. And the beauty is, I've long forgotten about the timer by the time it hits to the 2 minutes. I have no idea that I've even set it. So if that's a trick that'll work for you, if lying to yourself in that way works for you, then do it. Why not? The whole point of that exercise is to get started. Because once we're started, we don't want to stop. We want to keep going. That's also human nature. That's also the law of physics. Body in motion tends to stay in motion. So once we're started, it's so much easier. And getting started can be a real pain in the butt sometimes. Yeah, I get it. But Here's a thought that I want you to take away from this today as well. It's like, if you don't feel like writing today, I want you to understand that that is a choice. That is a choice that you're making. Now, it may not be a conscious choice, but it's still a choice. Because you could just as easily sit down at your computer, open it up, open your Word document or whatever you're working on, put your hands on the keyboard and go, wow, I am so excited about writing today. Can't wait to see what comes out. You can do that. Say that every day if you need to. If nothing else, just saying it in that tone of voice, it just makes me feel better. So even if I'm not feeling like it, even if I am completely, faking it, it does something psychological or something physiological up in the brain. It still gives that dopamine rush that says, wow, I'm excited about something, so let's go do it. It doesn't matter that the words are false, if you will, right? Doesn't matter at all. So try that. Do whatever it takes. And understand that it truly is a choice. You'll have a heck of a lot more fun writing it if you decide to be, embracing the gratitude, love, joy, compassion, and doing all that courageously. Be way more fun. And I get that writing can be hard. I spent 15 years where it was really difficult. But those years taught me that there's a lot of other ways to go about this that are really, really effective and super fun. Really fun. So can writing be hard? Yeah, of course it can be. But it doesn't need to be. I made it very hard on myself, which is ridiculous. But at the time I didn't know any better. And that's one of the reasons I do these videos, is so that you can learn from my past mistakes, so you don't have to make them as well. If you have a book on your heart to write, the last thing in the world I want for you to be is sitting there stuck, not knowing what to do, how to do it, when to do it, or even why. I want to shortcut all of that for you. So the choice is always yours. Do I feel like writing today? Or maybe it's, do I ever feel like writing today? They're just a choice. So make the right one. Make the wise one. And if what you want to do is to learn a little more, and you want to learn in a very, I don't want to say intense, but it's certainly in a, what's the word I am looking for? An environment where you're surrounded by other people just like you, trying to figure out how to get this thing that's in my head out onto the page, then I would highly encourage you to join me for Christian Writer Unstuck. Comes up in October 19th this year. And it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot of really, really cool things. And if you're puzzled about knowing why you want to write this, or how do I get it done, or it feels like it's a massive mountain that you simply can't climb, then I encourage you to come and join me, because I will bust all those myths, because those are nothing but piles of nonsense that we build up in our own minds. The truth is really, really vastly different. And I would love to take that special opportunity on October 19th to help you break through some of those internal barriers that you might have and understand how really quick and easy and simple this process can be if we just get out of our own way. All right?